So obviously the issue's obvious. Like by this point, if you didn't realize it, so how can you fix it? How do we help people fix it or companies fix it?
Cheers, mix, click, and code with Boozy browsing, sipping and fixing the web one cup.
Yeah, I think for like you could do this yourself. Anyone can do this. Look through like this is the basic level. Look at your finances. Look at credit cards statements. Right. Just evaluate the tools you're using because the elimination ones are easy. Like, oh, I haven't used that one in X months. Well, eliminate it, even if you're not going to save money by the year thing. But then getting into a deeper level of how companies like ours help you is like we're getting back into the model of, you know, building it is actually sometimes cheaper in the long run than using a SaaS solution for a lot of these products because it's going to save you time. It saves you monthly costs, even though the initial build time does take a little bit longer. But the tools that are available to do software development now compared to 8 months ago, 2 years ago, especially,
Mhm.
like the speed and cost savings to build them and maintain them yourself with the right people is definitely something to consider, I would say.
Yeah. So to kind of give a three-step things that we
Mm,
do. So like if we were to help you how to do it,
yeah,
and you can reference this too, is that so first step, we'll audit how many different things that you're doing, and then we'll try to figure out what functionality that you're trying to achieve. And sometimes you might be buying something that you bought something for, thinking that you'll be using it for certain feature or certain functionality. Might not be the case either. And also, the things change. The feature changes a lot as products that will give you new features, or sometimes they remove the features and you can't. You were not keeping track of it. So we'll do the audit to make sure that whatever you're paying for right now is really what you need it, what you intend to do it, and what other things this SaaS products are actually doing. So we'll do the audit on that. And if needed, and also a lot of times might be even cost effective and better, we'll build custom thing or help you integrate correctly so you don't have to finagle all these different apps or make the com or whatever other tools in addition to what you're paying for. And we'll help you build that. And three, actually the most important part, to maintain it. Because
right.
it's not, it's like once you ship it and and go away, like Matt was mentioning before, it will change. All these things can change, and you need to maintain how things are evolving and updating and stuff. So you need someone to maintain it if someone else actually helped you
Right.
consolidate this to make sense for you. So it's like
Yeah.
a typical three-step way to do it.
And these last two steps used to be, like I was saying before, used to be the things that were too expensive to offset
Mhm.
the subscription costs. Because it was build or buy, and buy almost a rent turned out the reality, right? That almost always was the better case because build was so expensive. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars or $30,000 to do a simple like internal cost app or something like that. Like those are things that could still be done internally, and then we companies like us take it from that level to making sure it can actually be um, can be maintained and could be maintained in a long term viable way that's cheap um, and is kind of future proof.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, so the article that we can share in the show note is that the saving for 70% professional service. It's like how much they paid versus after they actually customize it and maintain it. The cost savings were about 127K a year one, and it's gonna go up
Right.
going forward because you don't have to deal with all this six different tax that we talked about before. And just kind of piggyback on what Matt said was like, why is it more relevant? And like it's why it's working now versus 2 years ago. It's like there's so many other tools and it's a better technology to handle this better, to make it easier. And then why not get help from the experts? Because it's eventually cost saving because you might be thinking that you're saving a little bit now for not paying for building something that's customized for you, which is not that hard to do. But eventually you're spending more time on your people, on your employees.
Mhm.
And that really adds up because you're paying for their hours. It's like it's easily overlooked, and especially for the bigger companies, because when you're not looking for it, it adds up super quickly.
I think we're good.
Yeah, and, what are some signs that you know what you're ready to do this or not?
I think the signs are, you really have to be attentive to your employees if you're at a leadership position, or if you are an employee, think about like your day, right? Are you going between multiple interfaces? Did the data move itself, or did you have to copy and paste data? Um, did you Is there one solution showing you a dashboard of everything, or do you have 5 dashboards? Again, some of these things, some people are building vibe coded dashboards, and I think that's a really good idea for back office type functionality. Um, but if you've been doing this for a few months, did you have to maintain, like, are you spending time now maintaining the thing that you built one time and thought it was good? Because I think that's the people don't really think about that. Like, oh, I've spent nights. I see these LinkedIn posts about people saying, oh yeah, I spent this weekend, and I got this dashboard up and running. I'm like, that's cool. Um, you did that outside of work. That's extra work, right?
Right.
And now you have to maintain it every weekend potentially to do the updates, because everything changes all the time right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So all the APIs, all the, like, if it was doing some kind of scraping, those have to be maintained. And I guarantee if you work on any vibe coded product for long enough, it will break
Mhm.
horribly wrong, and to the point where it will not be able to. So you'll have to build it again,
Right.
which is fine. It's quick, but quick meaning all weekend is not very quick in my mind.
Yeah, yeah. And
Like,
that's so true because like, you built it. So, it's why I'm constantly saying that it's really good at making a very smart prototype because
mhm.
you just built something. Did you think through how you're gonna maintain this? Because every time you try to do something, sometimes it'll break, and then you try to fix it, and it will do something else. And now
Every
you have to redo all this thing. You're troubleshooting it. Like whatever you thought was like a 10-minute fix turned into like a 3-hour fix, and your precious off time. And now think about doing that consistently, because if you're going to use this for a couple years down the line, like not even a couple months down the line, you constantly have to make sure that it's working as you designed, because it's not just a one-off, one-time thing. I mean, if that's what you intended, great, but you probably didn't intend it that way.
Yeah, I mean, most things start as I need to see this data, so build a thing and it represents the data, and that's really great.
Mhm.
And then you decide, well, but I could do it in a way that I can look at it every day. It's like, well, that's the next step. But now every day you see a different issue and you ask it to fix it, and then it breaks 5 other things. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not being harsh on vibe coding at all. I think that there's a case for it. We utilize a certain way of doing vibe coding that allows us to just do it faster and more kind of repeatable, I would say. And in a way that's our daily job. So you're
Mhm.
paying people like us to just do our daily job versus you spending your weekends doing what you don't want to be doing,
Yeah.
to save some money.
Yeah. So, oh, what's the takeaway from here, though?
I think the takeaway is, again, just reiterating on, if you continue to go down the mindset of build versus buy, it's always buy rent, because that was always cheaper. I think people really need to reconsider that in this day and age where good development agencies can do the build for a lot cheaper than you talked to them 6 months ago,
Mhm.
and they're going to do something. Going through the process now where you have a proof of concept that's actually doing things, and taking that to the next level of just hardening and making it a long-term viable product, even if it's an internal viable product, right?
Mhm.
Is it worth having the conversation with companies at this point? And because I think the build and own is really the future for the next few months or years, really. And maybe SaaS companies will adopt it as well, and their pricing will come down. But
Mhm.
until that happens, or they'll be able to be more integratable. But I don't think that's going to happen in the next year. So why not have your own ownership of the products you want to have internal?
Right. Yeah. And also, it can be a follow up episode that we can actually put in was like to kind of deeper dive into how we audit and then like what is like actual plan. Like we might not get into real deeper dive into how we actually built it, but it's more
Right.
like structuring out all these different things, how to consolidate it and put it into a thing that makes sense for stakeholders. Because even if you consolidate, it needs to make sense for you. Like, so whoever is using the tool, because like if you're building a dashboard, the dashboard has to consolidate it to a point that the numbers actually make sense to sales, revenue. How does it affect you? All these have to be consolidated into the meaningful data. So how we actually think through this and then put that together. If that's more of an interesting topic for you guys.
Perfect.
Right. Are you doing on your like yeah, it's like this is
I
why.
did really well. I'm almost done. This is a can of beer. I'm good.
I did my second pour, but yeah, as I said, it's not that tasteful. So next time I'll come up with a better one. All right. Anything to add before we depart?
I think I think that was everything I could think of.
All right. Well, on that note,